Who do you think wants the world to be a better place? A person who's got kids or a person that doesn't have kids?
100% the people that have kids.
Okay. So who do you think wants the cares more about future looks bright and making sure security, military is good, you know, so no one can attack us and we have a stronger military? People who have kids or people who don't have kids?
Family, kids, for sure.
Okay. This continues, right? You have to, out of those three names, one of them doesn't have any kids, has never been married, doesn't believe in God, and he's just kind of like about himself. He's made all these choices he's made is about himself. Now, don't get me wrong. I've retweeted Bill Maher's stuff a lot, and I think he's been one of the most necessary voices the last 3 years because he was another guy that was forced to take the vaccine, and he took one for the team, and he didn't want to take it. He did not want to take the jab. But whenever we're looking at how people support a position or not, and whatever they're screaming off the top of their lungs, always ask them how this hurts them or how this helps them. When I was coming up and I'm building my insurance practice, I always had an easier time working with people that were married with kids more than working with single guys. Because single guys almost always made the selfish decision. Almost always. But the married guys made fewer selfish decisions. The married guys had to get to work and keep their word because they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for their wife and their 3 kids. There was a certain level of stability there. Now, listen, I don't mean to offend you guys. You guys are single. I'm not talking about you guys. I don't want you to be heartbroken. You know, if you, Rob, can you give some tissue to him?
I'm crying on the inside.
No, you actually have a great point here.
Don't put the camera on Adam. He's getting emotional. Yeah, but the point is, do you think we're ready as America to have a single president? Would you want your president to be single with no kids, not married?
No.
Why not?
I don't think they have a full life perspective.
That's the point, right? So we have to also know when some people are like, I don't care about this, and I don't care about that, and I don't care about kids, and I don't care about that. Yeah, of course you don't. 95% of the world and 90% of the world has kids and cares about their family in the future. Whoever this creator was, I know who mine is, who I'm betting on. If I'm going to be right or wrong, I'll know when I die. But whoever this creator was, whatever way they created it, there's a reason why we can procreate. Why? You become a better person to society when you have kids. You literally overnight become better for society by having a kid. When I tell you overnight, overnight. Because instantly, the day before your kid is born, you're willing to make 80 decisions that you don't really give a shit about because it's only going to impact you, okay? And you're like, I don't care what happens to the other person. No. The moment you have kids, you're in 2 different places for the rest of your life. You will never be in one place. I'm never in one place. I am always in 5 different places, always. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm in 5 different places. I'm wondering where my Tico is, where Dylan is, where Senna is, where Brooklyn is. What are they doing? Where's this person? Who's with them? All this stuff. And I know Jen is an adult, so she's doing her thing, but she's probably with one of the kids. But I'm always with 4 different places with these kids. Your brain works that way. You become better for company, better for business, better for community, better for safety, better for crime, better for finances, better for every single thing. Everything becomes better, right? Everything. So when we're sitting there looking at the list on Bill Maher and Rogan and all these other guys, you have to kind of put some context there to realize that not everybody I understand the part about liking what Bill Maher does. I think Bill Maher is coming from a place of calling out the left and the right, which is awesome. Gotta love that. You also have to realize there's a lot of policies in America that have nothing to do with him, that he literally doesn't give a shit about those policies because it doesn't directly impact him. And you as the listener has to know that what you have as a concern, he does not have as your concern. So he's going to be like, that's not something I really care too much about. I'm going to go a different direction.
You bring up a great point there.
And by the way, this wasn't even my point. This was a point that was brought up by somebody else that we talked about last night. I'm bringing it up. I just don't want to mention the name because I don't want that person to know that others know he said it. But go ahead, Tom.
Totally understand. And I was not going to name. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a saying when it comes to shipwrecks and it comes to tragedies, and it's women and children first. And the saying, I'm sure people have heard it, women and children first. Why do they say that? Because it means that the men on that ship are willing to sacrifice themselves today so that the generation can live tomorrow. And that's exactly where it comes from, women and children first. And so you can't have that perspective until you have kids. The day you have a kid, you are willing to die for that person. It's an amazing feeling, and it's a stronger feeling than you have for your spouse. But once you're married, you're willing to really take one for the team for her, for your spouse. But once you have a child, it is an elevated sense. And you say, I will sacrifice today for this generation tomorrow.
So I fully agree with you, PBD. I fully agree with you. And I'm a single guy, no kids. And I will be fully transparent that you have the ability to be way more selfish when you don't have kids. I see the sacrifice you put in just before the podcast. More than anything, you're talking to Jen about, all right, cool, where's Tico going? Where's Dylan going? Well, Senna's going to go play tennis. This is what we got going on. Tom, every night, he's talking about his girls. We got 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And just to verify this, I probably listen to Bill Maher more than anyone on the list. I listen to Rogan, no doubt. I listen to Tucker for sure. Sometimes I listen to Tapper. But every Saturday I watch Bill Maher's episode because he's got great takes. But if you ask me right now if I would change places in life with any of those four people for the rest of my life, Bill Maher's last on my list.
Yeah.
He's 68 years old. He's a known commodity. He's worth $200 million. To me, I'd rather be worth $1 million and have a family and have love my life and be with my kids than have $200 million and have nothing. And in terms of leadership, I fully agree. And some people are going to be like, well, what do you even have kids? How can you say this? But I want to have kids. I know what my plan is. I know what my purpose is. The reason that I'm working my ass off right now is that when I do have a family and do have kids, I have money and I have success, and I'm not doing that on the way up. You know, you talk about leadership and accountability. You know the last U.S. president that was never married, no kids? James Buchanan in 1857 to 1861, right before the Civil War. I'm not saying that that's a reason or anything like that, but homeboy was not married, didn't have any kids. We saw what just happened with our good friend, Andrew Cuomo in New York. Not married, just single, bachelor,
has
governor.
Kids, though. Has daughters.
Okay, he has got kids. I'm just saying, but like if you're just a single dude and you can be selfish, there's going to be opportunities for you to make the wrong decisions. That's all I'm saying. So I fully agree that if someone that has kids, PBD, you're way more selfless and you're going to be thinking about a million different things at a different lens than someone without kids.
Well, it's why you choose. And by the way, one of the other things that also kids and marriage does is it keeps you occupied. When you have sometimes way too much time on your hands, you're also making the people around you a little bit too going crazy. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes you need to be preoccupied with other things as well, so you're kind of doing your own thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't say, hey, Mom, what does a mom do when she has nothing to do with grandkids, no kids, nobody around, always calling kids all the time? Or something. Why is that? Because you're not preoccupied with a man, with kids, with grandkids, to kind of have some purpose that you got in your life. Mm-hmm. Married people with kids are better for society than single people with no kids. It's a fact to advance a society. Again, my opinion. You can be upset and disagree with me. This is 100% what I believe in. Anyways, let me tell you guys a quick thing we're doing here today that I wasn't going to do, but now I'm going to do it anyways for you guys to know about. Do you know what happened 4 years ago today? Does anybody know what happened 4 years ago today? 4 years ago today, Kobe Bryant passed away, okay? When Kobe Bryant passed away, I remember when I did an interview with him, everybody remembers where they were at. And everybody remembers where they were at. I was at Seasons 52 when that took place. I was with family and Dylan sitting next to me. CNN reports, Kobe Bryant. I'm like, wait, what? And so, boy, you got to be kidding me. No, is this serious? This can't be real. This is like the guy from Fast and the Furious. This can't be real. This is a spoof. They're playing a joke. No, it's real. Yeah. And it happened. Fast forward to today. The world stopped when that happened 4 years ago. I mean, I sat down with him, doing an interview with him the way he was with Tico, Dylan, the kids, Jen, talking to Jen for 15 minutes, talking to Dylan for 15 minutes. So here's what we're doing today. This is the edition that just came out today. Limited edition. This is signature series. Future looks bright, purple and gold. And we are dedicating this to the man, the myth, the legend, Mamba mentality. Future looks bright hat that was just released. There'll be limited amount of these for you, but here's what we're doing. That's the QR code for you to go buy. If you buy the hat, the Future Looks Bright hat that we just dropped, with the shirt Future Looks Bright, and you add another hat of your choice that you want, any of those other colors you see, they're white, black, red, and the military camouflage one, you will get the second hat for free, but you have to order the purple and gold hat, the Future Looks Bright shirt, and then you'll get an additional hat, but make sure you put the promo code PBD Podcast. Mm-hmm. Here's why. everywhere I go, everybody I talk to, you talk about how worried, concerned, afraid people are, okay? The enemy hates it when there's a group of people that believe future looks bright. I guarantee you at your workplace, with your family, with your peers, the more people say future looks bright, temperature goes lower. The more leaders are confident that the future looks bright, the temperature goes lower. So if you are somebody that's a diehard valuetainer, you follow the podcast, you're a creator, you're a guy that's a freedom fighter, you're a person that's a free thinker, you like debate, you like the style of what we do, go represent this gear, okay? This is just limited edition stuff that we have here. Go represent this purple and gold future looks bright hat and shirt. And that's the QR code if you want to go order it. And for the first, I would say the first 100 that pre-order it, will also send one free hat with you. Any of those 4 colors that we have there as well. Okay, having said that.
Can I just tell one quick story about this, why it's so relevant?
What's that?
So this is a weird, eerie story. And I'm going to kind of bring in the Kobe and the PBD, why I think we're even doing this. You going to put the hat on?
I'm going to put it on.
Sick.
So I remember the day this happened, because it was a few days after you and I met in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if you even remember this, PBD. I don't know if I ever told you this story. PBD and I have known each other since 2012, right? But we didn't really start talking about me coming to Valuetainment until 2019, if you recall, PBD. And I saw that they're talking about having a Mamba mentality. You were planning the vault, and this was in 2020, January of 2020. I said, oh, PBD, what's up, man? I hear you're in town in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to come meet you. Adam, dude, I'm literally on a helicopter looking at locations.
You remember that.
Wow.
Looking at locations in Fort Lauderdale.
You know, we never put those videos ever up.
Really?
We never put the helicopter ad up. We spent $10,000, $20,000, flew out a camera crew, rented a helicopter, went all over the place in Miami to produce those videos.
Wow.
Never once did those videos make it up. Never. We have it till today.
Okay, I didn't even, okay, can I
Did you know this?
No, I didn't know
Never.
that.
We never did. Mario knows this. He's upstairs.
I'm getting goosebumps as I tell this story. So I see PBD on his Instagram. Yo, I'm in town. He's doing this helicopter thing. I said, yo, PBD, I'm in Miami. Come meet you. We go meet me, you, Mario, Paul at the time, at some little restaurant in Fort Lauderdale. Some little breakfast spot. And you had just gotten out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, we do the thing. We start talking about the podcast, planning what this looks like. This is January of 2020. I said, hey, man, I'm interested, whatever. And I'm telling people, hey, you know, I just met with my guy, PBD, Valuetainment. And they're like, who's that? I'm like, what do you mean you never saw him? He's the guy that interviewed Kobe, because it just came out a few months prior to that.
Yep.
I want to say August, September.
Yep.
So this is 3-4 months later. I thought, oh, cool. Yeah, PBD, the helicopter. Breaking news, couple days later, Kobe Bryant dies in a helicopter accident. Dude, I'm shell-shocked. Because the last 3 days of my life, I'm saying, PBD, Kobe, helicopter, like, so crazy. I'm supposed to follow up with PBD like the next week. Like, hey, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like shooketh. I couldn't even text PBD because I know what this meant. You remember being in this helicopter.
Of course I do. Rob, can you show the picture of the helicopter? I just sent it to you.
So I'm saying this. I'm getting goosebumps. It's crazy. And next thing you know, I'm like scared to like approach PBD. I don't know why. I just felt like there's not the time to like push PBD. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, COVID happens.
Wow.
Right? And I'm like, oh shit. Like, and now I'm like, but me, I said, literally, this is going to sound corny. I said, Mamba mentality, bro. Like I want to work with PBD. What happened. Long story short, these are all the videos.
Yeah,
the helicopter.
I have so many videos on my phone.
Long
we
story
never
short,
did these ads.
Crazy.
Ever.
That was January of 2020.
I'm in Miami. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Look at that.
Yes.
And
literally, we met like right after
right.
that day. And I said, you know what? I want this. I want to work with PBD. I'm sick of doing this by myself in my house in Miami. And I said, PBD, I'm literally moving to Dallas. What's up? And then the story goes from there. But the eeriness of the helicopter and the PBD.
It and then
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.